I have all the ability I need, and I can just lay and trust that all the work I did will pay off.
I started working out. I was about 120, 115, about 160 now. I trusted it, and it worked. If you want it, go get it. It's not going to come to you.
My EV was about 75 and my body weight was around 155, around that. Since I joined that, I'm up to almost 180 now and I'm hitting 80s, around mid 80s.
How much more kind of committed he was and how much more confident he became in his own progress, instead of questioning himself about, am I doing the right thing or is this the right thing? So you could kind of see the stress level decrease a little bit, and then that energy could be focused on really all of the program aspects, right? Or his workouts.
Do that. If you could get on and do what you said day in, day out, it's amazing. Like a game changer.
Through your program, I just realized like how much more I could learn. I could just feel the improvement over the course like of 4 or 5 months, like you said. I could feel the improvement myself. With you being able to supply me with this type of structure, I'm able to just learn for myself and learn how to improve by myself, which makes me feel a lot better as well as a lot more accomplished in the end.
You can give him a guidance and he can always ask questions to you. I could see how he became more confident after talking to you every time. You are always there when he needs. I think it's really important to know or be told from someone professional like you.
It was a completely new experience for us. I think we were skeptical. We dove into some of the content. We realized how good it was and the quality of it. The way that you kind of worked with him and you set expectations for him. Like, hey, these are the things I'm expecting from you. And that was a big part of why we enjoyed the program as well.
The program has made me like a little eagerness to go out and do something and not just like wait for the team practice and do things on my own.
As his dad, I can tell him till I'm blue in the face that this needs to be done. And sometimes it doesn't resonate coming from the dad. Sometimes it needs to come from a pro ball player.
Through your program, I just realized like how much more I could learn. I could just feel the improvement over the course like of 4 or 5 months, like you said. With you being able to supply me with this type of structure, I'm able to just learn for myself and learn how to improve by myself, which makes me feel a lot better as well as a lot more accomplished in the end.
I definitely recommend joining it. It's awesome. The community's great. Having you there to support you is incredible, and overall love the program.
You get the full structure. You get your lifting, you get your arm velocity, you get your mechanics, you get your hitting, and the hands-on approach from you.
Infield velo was 68 or something like that. It was not good. My 60-yard dash was 7.7, which is not good. And I was not very mobile. I wasn't very strong. I mean, I'm a big kid, but a lot of it was just like from my size. My infield velo now is 80, and my 60-yard dash is 70.
It's insane. What was the root cause for all that?
I mean, it was just staying consistent with the program. I think just I had to really stay on, like focus on the path that I was trying to get. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to become elite. I was trying to get better. I know the stats at the time. I was like, oh yeah, that's not that bad. But going back and looking, that's not where I should be to play at the next level. Staying consistent with the program really helped me through that time.
I feel like now I'm really like dialed into what I'm doing. So when I do it, it's just like this before, like you talked about earlier, like it's just coming in naturally.
That felt good. I mean, it gave me my confidence shot up. I think you should join in. You do a really good job of replying back to messages, and you're really fast to help out other people with like coaching and their swings. You're a pretty good coach.
Hitting improved, lifting improved, velocity went up, speed went up, everything in general went up. Before joining, I tracked my 60 time and I was running at 8.22, and then after a while I did a showcase and then I ran a 7.08.
What do you think the leading cause for that? That's crazy jump.
Probably mobility and probably the exercises that you have in your academy that allow for growth in those little tiny muscles that people forget about.
I could tell I was hitting the ball a little bit harder, and then it got better and better and better, and then my speed picked up with the sprinting training and all that, and I was just getting a lot better. But before that, it was not super good. I've definitely picked up on my hitting velo. Before I joined the program, my velo was 72 off the bat, and at this showcase, I hit 80.
That's insane, dude.
No, so when I first saw your program, you were talking about how to get to college and how to get D1 and get recruited and all this, and that had me super interested because I'm trying to go D1 and everything, try to get a scholarship and all this, and your program definitely talks about it and helps you walk through it and get you started. Honestly, I would say like the program definitely helped me a lot. Helped me work through some things, get my visualization for games and all that, just get me prepared.
Obviously, like my program's remote. Like, have you had any trouble by doing the work that I provide you?
Not at all. It's right in front of you. So it's super easy to get. Search it up, find it, and start working.
Welcome Evan Mendoza to the program.
Cardinals third baseman Evan Mendoza.
Giving it a look, finds the railing and he tumbles over, but he made the catch. Unbelievable, Evan Mendoza.
Gran jugada en Evan Mendoza, dos joyas defensivas.
Evan Mendoza makes a great
rounded up the middle. Mendoza throws off the shortstop. Mendoza field spins, throw.
Mendoza throw to first in time. Wow, what a play by Evan Mendoza.
Mendoza to second for one. Oh my word, you've got to be kidding.
Evan Mendoza!
For Mendoza lifts one to left.
An inning. Mendoza, that one's sailing back there, and it's gone!
Now
Now, those are some of the plays and the insights of playing baseball at the highest level, not just posting about it. Now, let's flip the script. Here's what my students and families have to say about working with me.
Just share his stories of the kids asking him, what did you do? And his one answer was one word: Evan.
It's an overall great program to improve your metrics, mental approach, your velocity, and your outreaching strategies. Because there's a ton of players I know that are way better than me that had 0 offers because they don't know how to reach out to coaches.
Pretty much every possible number would have gone up. I was high 70s and now I'm aiming for mid to high 80s and hitting the same thing. I was high 80s off machine and now I'm able to put some balls out in the mid 90s.
JT's motivation to want to do it at home, be proactive in his baseball career, and we are able to do these things for him, and it's self-motivated and he's taken that action. As a parent, you want to be able to say yes to something like that.
It's been making me feel much more confident. Like now going into the season, I feel I have all the ability I need and I can just play and trust that all the work I did will pay off.
Started working out, I was about 120, 115, about 160 now. I trusted it and it worked. If you want to go get it, it's not going to come to you.
My EV was about 75 and my body weight was around 155, around that. Since I joined that, I'm up to almost 180 now and I'm hitting 80s, around mid 80s.
How much more kind of committed he was and how much more confident he became in his own progress, instead of questioning himself about, am I doing the right thing or is this the right thing? So you could kind of see the stress level decrease a little bit, and then that energy could be focused on really all of the program aspects, right? Or his workouts.
Do that. If you could get on and do what you said day in, day out, it's amazing. Like a game changer.
Through your program, I just realized like how much more I could learn. I could just feel the improvement over the course like of 4 or 5 months, like you said. I could feel the improvement myself. With you being able to supply me with this type of structure, I'm able to just learn for myself and learn how to improve by myself, which makes me feel a lot better as well as a lot more accomplished in the end.
You can give him the guidance and he can always ask questions to you. I could see how he became more confident after talking to you every time. You are always there when he needs. I think it's really important to know or be told from someone professional like you.
Which was a completely new experience for us. I think we were skeptical. We dove into some of the content. We realized how good it was and the quality of it. The way that you kind of worked with him and you set expectations for him. I was like, hey, these are the things I'm expecting from you. And that was a big part of why we enjoyed the program as well.
The program has made me like a little eagerness to go out and do something and not just like wait for the team practice and do things on my own.
As his dad, I can tell him till I'm blue in the face that this needs to be done. And sometimes it doesn't resonate coming from the dad. Sometimes it needs to come from a pro ball player.
Through your program, I just realized like how much more I could learn. I could just feel the improvement over the course like of 4 or 5 months, like you said. With you being able to supply me with this type of structure, I'm able to just learn for myself and learn how to improve by myself, which makes me feel a lot better as well as a lot more accomplished in the end.
I definitely recommend joining it. It's awesome. The community's great. Having you there to support you is incredible, and overall love the program.
You get the full structure. You get your lifting, you get your arm velocity, you get your mechanics, you get your hitting, and the hands-on approach from you.
Infield velo was 68 or something like that. It was not good. My 60-yard dash was 7.7, which is not good. And I was not very mobile. I wasn't very strong. I mean, I'm a big kid, but a lot of it was just like from my size. My infield velo now is 80, and my 6-yard dash is 7.0.
It's insane. What was the root cause for all that?
I mean, it was just staying consistent with the program. I think just I had to really stay on, like focus on the path that I was trying to get. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to become elite. I was trying to get better. And I know the stats at the time. I was like, oh yeah, that's not that bad. But going back and looking, that's not where I should be to play at the next level. Staying consistent with the program really helped me through that time.
I feel like now I'm really dialed in into what I'm doing. So when I do it, it's just like this before, like you talked about earlier, like it's just coming in naturally.
It felt good. I mean, it gave me my confidence shot up. I think you should join in. You do a really good job of replying back to messages, and you're really fast to help out other people with like coaching and their swings. You're a pretty good coach.
Hitting improved, lifting improved, velocity went up, speed went up, everything in general went up. Before joining, I tracked my 60 time and I was running at 8.22, and then after a while I did a showcase and then I ran a 7.08.
Yo, what is up, everyone? Hope everyone's having a great day today. Welcome back to day 3. Let's go ahead and make the change right now. Day 3. Let's make sure we're selecting the right layer. Day 3, like I just said, of 50, because we are doing lives every single day, 50 days straight, excluding Sundays. So guys, make sure to ask your baseball related questions. That's what I do this for. I'm going to be live today on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So if you guys have any baseball related questions, feel free to drop them down below in the chat. One thing that I want to continue on today, and I think you guys found some value into it, is doing profile audits. of baseball players looking to play college baseball. And of course, using these platforms to help get recruited is a very advantageous route if you are serious about playing at the next level. So that's something that we'll do for here today. If you guys want it, of course, I'm not going to do it for everyone. So if you drop a baseball emoji down below in the chat, what I will go ahead and do is I'll give you a little bit of a breakdown as far as your your Instagram bio audit, and then I'm going to kind of go through some of your content, maybe make sure that you're posting the right things, because that's something that a lot of people won't tell you, is the social media aspect. Because one thing that I've learned by doing social media ever since 2019 is, good morning to you, SR Baseball 7. One thing that I learned about doing social media ever since 2019, it's the first time I ever posted a video on TikTok, and within my 9th video, and I kid you not, I posted 9 videos straight. The 9th one, and I posted them all at the same time, which is referred to as batch posting, right? I posted them all at the same exact time, and the last one that I posted, I'll never forget, I checked in on it the next day, and it was hitting this viral, wave. And I'll never forget refreshing my TikTok profile and seeing it go from, no joke, seeing it go from, 50,000 viewers to 55,000 viewers, literally within seconds, 65,000. And then literally it was climbing all the way. And I was refreshing this, no joke, every like 10 seconds. And so just keep that in mind. It made me so bought into social media, because I started realizing, like, holy cow, thousands and thousands of people are looking at my video. And by the way, the video that I posted were 9 consecutive highlight videos of when I was playing, at the time it was AA and AAA. So I posted that content, got like 100,000, I think it was 125,000 views, which is when it kind of stabilized. And ever since that, I started posting content religiously. I started doing swing breakdowns, which I think a lot of you guys maybe remember me from, because that is one of the areas that I was very, very consistent with, is making sure that I was showing up with you guys, because that was one thing that I was really, really passionate about, making sure that you guys got good, valuable content and resources to be able to learn what you were doing right and wrong about your swing. So that's what I do these lives for as well. I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys as much valuable content as possible, and I want to make sure that I'm able to guide you guys in the right direction. So if you have any baseball related questions, feel free. Okay, we'll do Sheldon first, and this is going to be a quick little process. I'm going to have to go to your profile and then basically screen grab your whatever you call it, your bio. All right, I got to go to the game. Have a good day, guys. Have a good one, SR Baseball, and good luck in your game. So let's go to Instagram, and I'm going to do / and then the username. I'm going to take a screenshot, and I'm going to share that screenshot with my iPad, and then that way we can do it on the spot. Sheldon, thank you for being our first contestant today. By the way, guys, if you guys want to do the same thing that Sheldon is asking me to do right now, I'm going to go ahead and actually delete this to make it a little bit cleaner. And by the way, this is only day 3 of me doing these lives. I am learning, and I'm learning a lot very, very fast. And that's one of the things I'm very, very thankful for, is being able to learn how to do these things basically in real time. It's not only helpful for you guys to be able to get better content and more digestible content that makes sense, but it also helps with me and my learning curve. Guys, I am a constant learner, and that's just something that I enjoy doing, right? Like, I enjoy learning stuff. I love tech, by the way. Studied aerospace engineering at NC State. So I love this tech side of things, and I love the social media side, because it's a mix of both worlds. And of course, we can be creative. And I always loved art class in high school and whatnot. Even took a drafting and design class in high school, and even I forgot what it was, like a drafting and design class also in college that I really enjoyed as well. But let's get into Sheldon's profile right here. So Sheldon, this is something that I want everyone to realize, the missed opportunity that we have by putting our account on private. We have zero way to reach new people if our account is on private. I see that you're posting 12 times, which that could be 12 times throughout the past 12 months. But either way, there's 12 pieces of content that we're just neglecting to new eyeballs, aka college coaches, right? So account being private, this is where, and this is where I can't necessarily tell because sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not. But Sheldon, I don't know if this is your baseball or your personal page, right? And some people mesh it into one. And to be honest with you, I would mesh it into one because I would rather you document rather than create. Let me just dissect this real quick. If you document, that's basically, day in life, right? That's documenting your life as a journal, as maybe your great-great-great-grandma might have on her bedside night table, right? Having a journal and writing in it, or shooting a video with your phone and posting that content and documenting that content, it's the same exact thing, just different medium. Different medium meaning like it's a piece of paper is what we're writing it on, or it's a video screen that we're documenting on. So I want you to document. I do not want you to create content. Creating is forcing the hand. We don't want to do that. We want to document everything that we've got going on. But either way, just because Sheldon's profile doesn't necessarily have a lot of content, I want to give you guys some direction as far as kind of my mindset when we're talking about posting that content. So first and foremost, account being private, that is not good. Right here, we have our profile name, which is fine. Our username, that's fine. It looks like first and last name. Right here, we are missing the opportunity of putting maybe our position and our grad year, right? This is going to make it super simple and easy for college coaches to quickly understand what position you play, what graduation year, and so forth. One thing that I'm also seeing right here is we just are completely neglecting our bio, right? And this bio, this should tell a little bit of a story about maybe where, maybe stats or metrics. I would probably lean toward metrics. Maybe teams, high school or travel, right? This is what can go inside this bio, and we're completely neglecting it, right? So as far as profile picture, it's a baseball profile picture, but honestly, you could be any, and this might sound weird, you could be anybody in that picture. I can't tell what your face looks like. And ideally, that's what a profile picture or a PFP should resemble. Profile pictures, like, of course, you can put a picture that you just like of yourself, like batting. It, like, maybe that swing just looks good. You remember that field. Maybe you remember the hit. You like the picture. But ideally, a clean-cut headshot where you're looking at the camera. You can put a baseball cap on as well. And ideally, it's just like from the shoulders up. So think about like your shoulders are right here, your neck's right here, your head's right here. That's what a correct profile picture should look like, with a very simple background, maybe even a background color. If you're good with Photoshop, that's something that I would do. So that's something, those are some pieces of advice that I would do for you, Sheldon. I think there's someone else. We have okay, so check out my son, Christian Farrar. Okay, let's do it. All right, let me just go ahead and screenshot everything that I need and then send it over. All right, let's go. All right, so this is gonna be a little bit of a bigger screenshot, which is good, All right, and then we're gonna airdrop it over. This might be like the more entertaining content that you guys are asking for, which is awesome. If you guys want to also do like swing breakdowns, that's something that I'm planning as far as having like a schedule of what we're posting each and every day, because I want to make sure that like this is valuable content at the end of the day for you guys. Yeah, Sheldon, make sure that you're optimizing that profile. It's only going to increase your chances of actually getting seen to new eyeballs, and that's exactly what we want. So let's get back into it real quick. Yeah, some reason, so on OBS, like I'm streaming on different platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and I want all those chats to be compressed into one. I tried out this new software. It's not working correctly, but anyway, let's get into it. So we have Christian right here. Posts, really, really good. Profile picture, again, we could have a simple profile picture with, it's a headshot, just so that we can see a little bit more of who Christian is. As far as the followers and following, in my opinion, this was a strategy that I remember way back in probably like 2016 I heard about, especially with my sister. it was a follow and follow back campaign, right? And basically there was a group on Slack or Telegram or Discord where basically you put your username. If someone follows you, it's like required that you follow them back. Not saying that's something that your son did, but whenever I see accounts that follow too many people, it kind of, the equation that I do really quick. So I'm going to say 3,000 and I'm going to say 9,000 for easy numbers. I subtract those and I like kind of give myself a generalized number of like 6,000. I'm like, okay, so 6,000 people are basically following this individual, because I don't know if all those people are just like follow back type things. Nathan, hope you're doing well. We're doing some profile reviews right now. Feel free to put a baseball emoji or ask to review a certain person or a certain account, and I will do that. Okay, so that's just one thing about the profile account numbers. One thing we're also, again, missing out on is the profile name, and that's where we could put grad year and position like I've done for other individuals. I'm never impressed by the check mark anymore. I was impressed it was about like a month in when I got drafted, and one thing that was really, really cool, and it maybe helped with clout, but they verified all of the draft picks in professional baseball, because we there's the identity, no joke, we're going to reference The Office, but identity theft is not a joke, Jim. Millions of families suffer from it every single year, and baseball players included, right? So we want to so this is something that, in all transparency, guys, it's $14.99. Anyone can pay for it. So that's not something that necessarily makes me it doesn't show any credibility like it used to. But anyway, so having a movie, I don't know what that pertains to as far as baseball. It looks like if we're gonna put a priority list, and this is something that I do with some of my internal team members as well. Priority 1, it kind of looks like the movie thing, and then FX networks. Again, I don't know if that's pertaining to the movie stuff. It looks like FX is something maybe movie related. And then home team, Netflix. I don't know if that's a show. That's cool if it is. And then the high school is down here, right? So I don't know if G20 movie, I have no idea what this is. As far as having a GoFundMe, and this is what I want to really reference right here, is the 2 more. The rule of thumb with link in bios, and you can check out my link in bios as well. Basically, 1 link in bio, so 1 link, and the reason for that is because we want to eliminate decision fatigue for the person that's ultimately coming across your page. We don't want to have to click 2 more and then make a decision between link 1, link 2, and link 3. That's too many decisions for someone. Ideally, we don't want to make them go through that. Also, having a GoFundMe, there's other ways of getting paid on social media, aka NIL, than getting a GoFundMe. The GoFundMe is, I guess, okay, but if Christian's a baseball player, he's a serious baseball player, he wants to play at the next level, I would be more maybe in the bio section talking about maybe an email for biz or partnerships. And then basically from there, that's basically a funnel in some capacity, because if a specific brand likes what Christian's posting and everything is on par with what their brand stands for, maybe they're going to want some type of brand deal. And that's something that's happened countless times for me ever since I posted on TikTok in 2019. I would get, sometimes you can see in the background, yeah, Oakley sent me about 15 pairs of glasses completely for free, just because they're the OG of eyewear, in my opinion. None of the new stuff anymore. No more Velo shades, no Pit Vipers, none of that. Oakley is my OG. This is the only eyeglass company I have ever worn. And by being just very repetitive, by loving Oakley, I remember creating a piece of content talking about my first ever pair of Oakleys, Christmas Day 2005. Basic black M frames. And I think it was the sweep model as far as the lens. And I sent that over to a rep at Oakley, and it took him 6 months to get back to me. His email was super short. He said, "Hey, I haven't got your email. I want to send you some stuff. Text me." Gave me his phone number. And then ever since then, he sent me 2 different care packages. The first one included probably 8 pairs of glasses. The second one probably 8 or 9. And it was awesome. So anyway, that was a little bit of a spiel about NIL, opportunities. Evo Shield has sent me stuff before. I've also done collabs where it's paid deals as well. So that's kind of the point. Like if we're trying to just earn some money, GoFundMe is an okay way of like getting just random support, random $5 and $10 here. But to really make a dent in NIL, this is where we can really be posting better content. And by the way, like the content, I like these highlights, New Mexico, KCA, you know, like these are specific to what's going on. As far as the content here though, again, I don't know, and booked my first national commercial, so that's good. You're kind of being put into that spotlight of, you know, being in commercials. There could be real good NIL opportunities here of getting some brand deals, especially if we're positioning ourselves as, you know, a red carpet individual, someone that's walking backstage. I'm not sure what this pinned post is, but it looks like it's high cinematic value as far as production value. So like these are all things that like brands will look for. I'm curious on like as far as the NIL strategy and being able to build out a strategy to be able to get those brand deals. That's something that, you know, I built out for myself. I built out for a select few of my individual students, the highest students inside my program. It's called Branding with Baseball because of course we want to brand ourselves within the game of baseball. I would say though, again, to kind of like narrow down this whole profile in a nutshell, what we're really looking at is like, you know, we have Chris, right? I'm just gonna go Chris. We have like movie, and then we have baseball. We have ball, right? And nothing wrong with that. It shows that there's more beyond the athlete, and especially to a college coach, it's like, okay, he's doing other things over here, which is totally fine, but making sure that it's an easy enough process for these college coaches to go here, to go here, to go here, to go here, to ultimately evaluate him, right? Because if here is IG, here is like link in bio, right? Here is like a YouTube video, then he finally gets evaluated. And right now, I don't know if it's an easy enough process for them, considering all the pinned posts are about movies and not necessarily enough about baseball, if that makes sense. Let's see, I saw some comments from, I believe, Mom. He has it at the bottom, so should he move it up? He's also an actor, so right now his bio heavily resembles. Yeah, it tells me more of a story around that he's an actor more than a baseball player, and that's kind of what I've been mentioning. He's free because he's an actor. That just verifies him. Okay, cool. He's a movie with Viola Davis. Guys, I don't know anything about pop culture. Those are shows and movies he's in. Cool. Yeah, guys, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely having more beyond the baseball player. That's something that I'm always an advocate of, because I was doing that all throughout my baseball journey for the most part. I'd say over half of it. So in 2019, I broke my wrist. I sat in bed basically doing nothing after I broke my wrist for 3 months. After I re-broke my wrist after that 3-month part, I basically told myself things are going to be different. I'm not going to allow myself to just do nothing and contribute nothing to society. So that's when I started giving lessons, even though I had a brace on my left hand. I started posting a little bit more. I created a baseball-specific Instagram, now known as the Mendoza Baseball Academy. Back then, it was Mendoza Baseball Lessons because I was only doing lessons in the North Palm Beach, Florida area. I grew that to about 20 consistent clientele on a weekly basis. So I was making decent money, but I was just like also really upset when I had to go on and play winter ball and basically say bye to my students who were anywhere from the age of 6, which I didn't enjoy working with those 6-year-olds, all the way up to freshmen in high school. I started to really enjoy working with my host brothers who were in that range of, 8th to 11th grade. So that's, again, exactly why I built out my Mendoza Baseball Academy to help high school baseball players play in college, giving them those resources on the physical, mental, and the recruiting side. And if that's something that you guys are interested in, or if you're looking for a little bit more guidance on the social media side, of course, that's an extension program after the triple play. But if that's something that you guys are interested in, you can always click the link in my bio. Again, that's one singular bio because ideally I want all traffic to go and watch that 5-minute video explaining who I am and what my program is all about. By the way, love that you played with the Cardinals. We're from St. Louis. Let's go, St. Louis. So I got the opportunity to play in Busch Stadium a few times during COVID and during the alt site. For those that didn't know what the alt site is, basically like the B team in, basically for the Cardinals, right? It sounds weird because there's no such thing really as the A team and B team and things like that. I guess if there's anything to resemble it, it's basically what's it called? Like for a practice squad for football. But that's something that COVID made things very, very weird. But that was just something that I remember was a lot of fun, and I loved being able to play in St. Louis. It was a lot of fun. This is your coffee and baseball, guys. I got my what is it, Pilon? I'm running out, and I'm gonna be switching over to Cafe Bustelo, which is some espresso ground coffee, guys. I'm really looking forward to trying that out. I'm a coffee head. I love my coffee. It is something that I just really enjoy, and I hope you guys enjoy your coffee as much as I do. But if you have any baseball related questions, feel free to drop them down below in the chat. We were just doing some basically Instagram bio for some baseball players. Christopher is also an actor, which is pretty cool. Pretty heavily on the acting side as far as what he's posting right now. But some links right here, not necessarily optimized right there to go towards one specific action. A lot of links right here, again, mostly focused on the movie side of things. But I'm gonna have to check out, what is his home team? I'm gonna look that up right now. And actually, let's look it up together. That's something that I will do with you guys, because why not? All right. So, home team, Netflix. So what is this? Okay, home team. Is this home team? No way. No, wait. Is mom still in the chat? Is mom still in the chat? No, I love this movie. No way. Okay, now I need to have to look it up. Home team Netflix, Christopher. No way. Yeah, that's awesome. I love this movie. That's so cool. That's awesome. That's so cool. Oh my goodness. Jess, you know about this movie. Oh my goodness. What was it? Did your son get affected by the plant-based snacks that the yoga dad gave to all the players? That's one of the scenes that I'll never forget. Oh my goodness, yes, just Hardy, 88. I see him right there. Let's go. That's awesome. Let's go. That's so cool. He maybe watched the movie. He loves that movie. Yeah, no, that was awesome. That was really cool. That was a fun movie. Awesome. Yeah, I saw Home Team on the profile, and I was like, Home Team. Is that like a documentary, something that, what was it? It made me think of like All American almost. Like I was like, oh, is there a baseball documentary about like high school baseball or something like that? And, I don't have Netflix anymore. I decided to delete that subscription. I just didn't feel like I was watching it enough, honestly. And I saw something. Probably the last series that I watched was about. It was really strange. It was about influencer kids and influencer families, basically like coming together, posting a lot of content about the family, and also kind of exploiting these kids, and then kind of like growing them into these like kid influencers. And there was just like a lot of drama, very interesting. And I think that was the last one that I really watched on Netflix. But yeah, I remember he was in All American also, just episode 1. That's awesome though. That is really, really cool. That's sick. Kevin James, he used to be one of my favorites in what's it called? What's that show? It was like a reality, not reality TV, but King of Queens. I used to love that. But really, really cool. That's awesome. That is really, really cool. Anyway, guys, we just did a profile review for someone in Home Team. That was awesome. But guys, if you have any baseball related questions, feel free to ask them down below in the chat. That's what this live is all about. I want to make sure that you guys get your questions answered. We're going to be live every single day except for Sundays. 50 straight days, as you can tell. I'm going to switch this back over to my iPad. Not that one. We're going to go this one. And you guys can also call in. I don't know if you guys can see the QR code right now, but if you can, screenshot that, go to your photos album, and that's where I'll be able to call you. And yeah, that will be the way to call in. But yeah, 50 straight days, excluding Sundays. I almost dropped my pencil. And yeah, guys, this is something that I'm really enjoying. Being able to connect with you guys on a deeper level than maybe, let's say, like a 2-second brain rotted video that tells you to like read the caption. I don't like, some of that stuff works. I get it, but also I get being a lot more interactive. And like, I don't think, and maybe mom speak to this a little bit more, Mama Farrar, but like the value in like just optimizing this, I don't think can be done on a 3-second brain rotted Instagram reel or a TikTok. And that's why I've decided to do these lives, because I want to be able to provide you guys with the best valuable content as possible. And that's not going to be done in 2 seconds. To be able to achieve big dreams and goals doesn't take a quick fix or a band-aid solution. And I think that's what I kind of have a little bit of a frustration with these online baseball coaches, is because a lot of you guys will be like, oh, are you tired of not throwing 90? Well, here's how to do it in 2 steps. It's like, well, no, it doesn't take 2 steps. It takes a lot more steps, and it takes a lot more understanding to know how to break through plateaus when you will face them. And how do you change up your diet when you hit those plateaus? What are you going to do when you hit that frustration of your physical capabilities and you can't break through that plateau? So if you see an Instagram baseball coach that says, hey, here's how to throw 90 miles an hour in 2 simple steps, it's like, well, I mean, come on, guys. Like, does it really take 2 steps? So that's why I'm doing this streaming, because a lot of these problems are complex problems. I love solving problems at the end of the day. I studied engineering, which is not the easiest, but at the end of the day, one thing that I really learned about myself in college was I'm a really, let's just call it, decent problem solver, right? I for the most part, can go through a lot and be able to, go with what I know. But yeah, if you guys have any baseball related questions, that's what this live is all about. And I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys that valuable content. Earlier, I was doing some IG profile like audits, basically. And if that's something that you guys are interested in me doing for your son or for you, feel free to drop something in the chat. For some reason, I think I joined in to my own chat from my own personal Instagram. And I'll do it right now just to see, just to double check. But more than likely, the thing that's interesting is it doesn't show anybody else's comments. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I don't know. But I'm going to join in right now. Yeah, I'm in the live right now. The formatting, what do you guys think about the formatting? Because I'm always super curious. Like, do you guys like the formatting or do you hate it? Do you think these this is the one big thing, guys. And I see Isaiah join in. What's up, Isaiah? Anyway, the QR codes, like, do you guys think the QR codes are kind of lame? Because there's probably other ways that we could go about it. I'm pretty sure if you guys comment like a certain word, I'll be able to send you over the link, and that might be an easier process for you guys. But I'm not entirely sure. Let's try this. And Isaiah, if you'd be an awesome soldier to help us out here, comment. Just comment the number 7. I'm curious if it's going to send you the automatic DM or not. I have it set up where if there's any comment on a post with the number 7, it'll send you the automatic DM. But Isaiah, if you're able to, that'd be awesome, because I'm just trying to make sure that this works. Okay, so I can see other people's comments, which is awesome. Cool. Hey Evan, I've been a big fan of yours for a couple years now. You've helped me a ton. Can you look at my profile and give me some tips? Absolutely, my man. That's what I'm here for. Let me see. Yeah, Isaiah, just let me know if you get that automatic DM or not. And I'm going to be able to check on my end as well. But I just want to see. It might take like 30 seconds. But yeah. Tamarone. Tamarone. Kind of sounds like trombone, which, yeah, we're not going to go there, but trombone. All right. Yeah, let me know, Isaiah. Insert photo. Okay. Cool. Also, you know what? I'm going to put this way up here so that's always on top. That makes more sense. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me check just before. I really want to see if, Isaiah, if that went through to you or not. And I'll be able to check on my end as well. Let's see. It looks like maybe not. It looks like probably not. Let me change some stuff up and see if we're able to make that work. And Isaiah, if you're still in here, that'd be a goat move out of you to be able to help me out through this process, because I'm pretty sure there is a way that I used to have it set up where if you commented a specific word, coach, I didn't receive a DM, or gotcha. Let me see what we've got here. Published post. Okay, let me try one thing. Let me see. Direct. Okay, there. Comments on a post. I don't know if that's it. Message. That's what it is. No. I have it set up, I think, for one automation. So let me see, Isaiah. If you could just stick around, that'd be so money out of you. It really would be. Okay, so it's a customer reply. There we go. Let me check that out. Because if I can create, like, the question is, Isaiah, and maybe you can help me out, and maybe anyone else watching as well, before I get into Tamron, let me know, like, these QR codes, I feel like they're clunky, they're too big. If I just had, like, DM me, call, and you'll be able to call in, and I'll give you that process, I think that will be a better process, but maybe not. Like, let me know, Let me see if this works. Just 1 second, and I'll let you know when it's ready. And it looks like, Isaiah, if you're still in here, I think either way is good. So the only problem, so I like the QR code if we're on YouTube, because if we're on YouTube, some people have YouTube on their TV screen, some people have it on their computer, and then it'll be very easy to just like scan the QR code, right, with your phone, which I think is the typical behavior of most people. But when you're on your phone, on a live, like on Instagram Live where it's vertical, screenshotting a QR code is kind of weird. So I think it would be more interactive also, and it creates, comments and engagement. If you guys, by the way, that's kind of like the inner workings of the algorithm. More engagement, it's always going to help. That's something that could help for, what was your son's name? Forgot already. Christopher, with just like how he posts. But Isaiah, if you're still in here, try doing it now and let me know if that works. And hopefully it works. We're testing out some automation stuff instead of these QR codes, but let's get after it for Tamron. And Isaiah, just get back to me if that works or not. I'm gonna have it posted up on my computer as well, so I'm gonna be able to see if it does work or not. Isaiah, you're a goat. All right, so first and foremost, Tamron, one huge thing that I think a lot of people don't understand is their username. And for all the other players that we've gone through already, for the most part, the username isn't like of question, because people typically will do a username of their name, right? This is going to make it incredibly hard for anybody to type in. If someone, this is the thing, if someone types in your name, they're not going to find you because this is what's going to pop up more than your profile name. So you have to think of these as different things. This is a username, right? This is a profile name. The profile name is basically what shows up underneath your username, right? And that's just something that you have to keep in mind. The username has SEO capabilities, which is basically like how easy is it going to be searchable. So that's something just to always keep track of. Anyway, so let's get back into it. So we have Tamron, the username. One second. The username, definitely we need to fix that. As far as profile name, we're missing, opportunities to be a little bit more professional with, position, graduation year. Just one post, we can see that one post that's down here. It is a baseball related post, which definitely is helpful. We have one highlight, but it's just a simple black image. Ideally, if you want to put like a baseball emoji or let people know that it's a baseball highlight, or game clips, or cage work, or fielding work, whatever like that highlight summarizes into, we want to be able to put a name just so people know exactly what they are saying. So I haven't got a message, so we'll see what that looks like. I might have to change some stuff up, but anyway, one thing, well, first off, dude, you're not following me, that's kind of rude. Anyway, IBHS, this is where like typically I don't know what IBHS is. So I would probably put like whatever IB and then HS like after, because obviously it's a high school. 2028 could be right here, right? Baseball, emoji style, that's totally fine. But this is where like I don't know like what city you're from or state, right? I don't know what teams other than IBHS, which I could type in right now, IBHS, and I'm probably not going to know. Following on the other account, no problem, man, no problem. Yeah, if this is your baseball specific profile, be careful with following too many people. It kind of screams that like, I need you more than you need me type of deal. If you're following strictly college coaches in those 1,200 people, I guess that's okay because you're putting yourself out there in some capacity. But I'm still curious on like where you're from, city, state, maybe the teams that you play on, maybe also position, right? Which can be done right here. If you're a right-handed pitcher and shortstop, put that there so that way it's like everything that I need to know to make a decision is right there. And really the decision isn't to offer you a scholarship opportunity. It's not to offer you basically an official visit. It's none of that. The what you need to sell basically in some capacity or make it easy right here is after they read that, are they going to continue to read whatever's in your bio? That's the only thing that we need to be thinking about, because ideally we can think about like, okay, how do we get offers? How do we get contact with college coaches? How do we get this? How do we get that? How do we get this? How do we get that? Right? We can get ourselves very worked up about the end goal, but really we need to micromanage in some capacity what that next step is going to look like. So if someone reads, again, your profile name, they know exactly who you are, what's going on, your graduation year, your positions, and then from that, they read this. And again, what is the goal of that area? Well, if you have a CTA at the bottom, which if you've been on some of my other lives, you know exactly what I'm talking about with that CTA. You're basically telling them, watch my highlight video with an arrow down. And that's where, again, you're kind of missing out on right here, a link in bio over to a YouTube, right? And ideally in that YouTube, that's where, you're showcasing your skills. You're able to get evaluated that much sooner in a highlight video. I'm not saying that college coaches are going to like give you a scholarship from right off the bat, but you're getting evaluated at the end of the day. And that's what we want to be able to, play at the next level. So hopefully that gives you some understanding on what's going on. No, I appreciate you following me on the other account. I do appreciate that, bro. But one thing, yeah, just be careful with the username, dude, because like if I see TFANTA, like T Fanta, like I don't know who T Fanta is. I don't know who that is. Maybe that's your nickname. That's cool. But like, ideally, okay, so T for Tamron, Fanta, gotcha. But like at the end of the day, we want it to be as easy as possible. And one thing I've actually noticed, so like the T dot, right? That dot F dot, that makes it incredibly hard for the searchability of like SEO and stuff like that. So that's just something to keep in mind when you are putting your content out there. And I hope that helps. We are on day 3, guys, of 50. We have about 20 more minutes of the live. So if you have any baseball related questions, feel free to ask me. That's what I do this for. Don't, sit on your thumbs and not do anything on this live. Like the reason that I do this live is to be able to get your guys' questions answered. And I am that mom anger. And yeah, what type of baseball content should we be posting? Again, we don't want to be thinking about creating the content. We want to think about documenting the process, right? So if we think about really 30,000 foot view, right here is today. Way over here is, let's do it. When Chris gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. Really big goal, right? Obviously, that's a huge goal. I'm never one to really create goals for your son, for any of my students. I don't feel right creating goals, and by all means, I'm not saying that this should be Chris's goal by any means. We could also say he gets a, what is it? Is it a Golden Globe? I don't know pop culture, but in movies, maybe an Oscar. Golden Globe maybe is music. Let's just call it Oscar, right? So let's say your son gets an Oscar, right? And let's just say because I like the and. I don't like when people put people in categories of or, right? I don't like or. Hey, coach, this is my account for post updates. Are you able to? Yeah, I'll be able to do that here in a second. But so for Chris, if he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame and he gets an Oscar, like I want to see what he was doing today. I also want to see what he was doing a year from now. I want to see what also he was doing, 5 years from now. I also want to see what he was doing like 10 years from now. I want to see also what he was doing like 15 years from now, and documenting that process. The only way to document that process isn't to post once over here, and then have a congratulatory, wow, I did what I said I was going to do. That's so cool. There's so much missed opportunity in my belief right here, right? And that's why, like, if you go back to my TikTok on my personal page, scroll really far back, you'll see the documentation of basically my journey of having fun. I was also just like doing trends, not necessarily dance trends, but like I would do react trends and like funny audios and stuff like that. And I was just being very human, because another like passion project of mine is like to make sure that you guys also realize, because this is something that I felt deeply when I played professional baseball. I feel like you guys didn't realize I was a human being that like breathed the same air that you guys breathe, that put on my underwear the same way that you guys put in on your underwear. Like sometimes we value these people way up here when in reality they're same human beings as us. So that's one thing as far as why I like to post so much content, is because I wanted to normalize the pro athlete in some capacity. And that's exactly what I did. So I documented through that process. I would do day in the lives probably once a week, and those would be the ones that would usually blow up and get at least 100,000 views. There was also like times where I knew for a fact, and let's actually just kind of like go to it. I'm gonna try pulling up my Instagram. It's gonna take me a second to pull it up though, because the thing that I really want to talk about as far as content creation is like when you hit these times where you're gonna want to you're gonna want to look back and tell your kids like, hey, I did this or I did that. Well, for me, like that time was the World Baseball Classic. And I knew like this was a cool opportunity. I was going to be able to play in the World Baseball Classic. Not many people get to play in the World Baseball Classic. Like, let's just document everything about playing in the World Baseball Classic, right? So what I did was a day in the life. And because this was something that I already knew about day in the life, that they produced really good outputs, right? So ultimately the output is the views, the engagement. Like I just knew that they usually blew up if I posted a day in the life. So I knew day in the lives were successful, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a day in the life every day of the World Baseball Classic, and that's exactly what I did. So I'm gonna have to find this because it's way back into the archives, but I'm gonna share it with you guys because again, like when you know that you're gonna want to relive something, document it like you're not going to be able to live it again, right? And ideally, I've gone back and watched some of those videos and I'm like, man, those were the good times, right? Like I was thinking about the wrong things, or maybe I thought about some negative thoughts that I had back then. Oh, am I going to play? Am I going to do this? Like there were sometimes thoughts that I had in specific moments, and I see like a picture or a video and I realized to myself, it's like, why was I thinking about those things? Why was I so worked up about, and this is probably something that a lot of parents can relate as well. It's like sometimes your son is going to be so worked up about playing college baseball, and then when he reaches college baseball, you might see a video of your son, or maybe your son might see a video of himself when he was in high school, and he thinks, why was I so worked up about playing college baseball? Like, I did it. I got that scholarship. I'm playing D1. Why was I so worked up about it, right? So let's I'm gonna quickly kind of just go over. And by the way, I want to share this with you guys because I think it's something of value, and that's what I'm here for, is to make sure that you guys get as much value as possible. So I went and found way back into the archive. So as you can see, like I would do day in the lives from when I was with the Padres in spring training, and this is on my personal Instagram page, which is E_Mendoza. But anyway, I would like getting fitted with Evo Shield guards. That did pretty well. Day in the life, spring training 2023. I was going to the facility every day. You can see what I ate and stuff like that. 479,000 views, 315,000 views, right? I knew day in the lives were doing really well. This was my first ever appearance with the San Diego Padres. They put me in at shortstop when we were playing against the Diamondbacks at Salt Lake Talking Resort. And there's like 15,000 fans there. It was crazy. But yeah, another day in the life where I was like, okay, these are doing really, really well. 348,000 views. So this was the day basically that I transitioned into the World Baseball Classic. So I was like, okay, I'm going to document everything, put the logo of the World Baseball Classic, and make sure that it's very obvious. Put the Colombian flag. For those that don't know, it's yellow, blue, red. March 7th, 2023. So we're approaching, what is that, like 3 years ago? Anyway, 105,000 views. I just documented what the resort was like that we stayed at. How I had to check in and they gave me a gift bag. They included an Apple Watch. They included a backpack, a tumbler, like all these cool like little micro gifts. But at the end of the day, like this was something that was really cool. Day 2, we had a practice. We did this. We got some gear. We did this. We did that. This one right here, it was our first time actually practicing at Chase Field, which was really cool. I think it was also part picture day and part video graphics for the Jumbotron, and then we also got to practice and hit BP and take grounders, right? So like really memorable day right here as well. This was the first game that we had at Chase Field. It was against Mexico. So these were all like parts of my World Baseball Classic story that I wanted to document, and right now I can relive some of these memories. So that's the part of really showcasing and documenting the journey rather than necessarily creating content. I don't want you guys to ever really think that you have to create content. I want you to think about documenting the journey. So hopefully that answers your question as far as, what should you be really posting? Document the journey, not necessarily create content. Janice, is it better to register for camps if the coach reaches out to you? So let's break this down, because this is a pretty important one that I think a lot of parents need to realize. So if a random coach reaches out to you, I would say more than likely it's generic, right? Because there's going to be a link. Here's the registration link. It's an invite only, this, that, and the other. It's more than likely generic, and they are looking for money to be able to fill up their camp, and your son is going to be just another number in their roster, so to speak. Now, if you contact the coach, they respond in a personalized way, and then you go, and they offer you basically a camp. That's where you still don't want to necessarily accept it at this stage. We can divert that and like ask a question about what that camp's going to be looking like, and then maybe attend. And hopefully that doesn't get cut off. But what we're really trying to do is navigate, okay, what kind of camp is this? Is it going to be a free-for-all, right? Because if it's a free-for-all, like, yes, like that's not necessarily the best way of going about it. If it's a free-for-all, you're probably not going to get the notoriety that you want. you're not going to get evaluated at the stage that your son wants, and that's not going to help anybody out in this whole process. So the best way to get to get evaluated is to make sure that you have a steady communication with a specific college coach before attending a camp. So that way, when you get to that camp, it's like you guys already know each other. It's like you're like dapping each other up, and it's like, hey, how's it going, man? Like, I saw you at this place. Oh, that was really cool. Congrats on, last season. And it was really, I saw that you guys were winning that game against, Clemson, and you guys, swept them. Like, that must have been a lot of fun. This, that, and like all these things ultimately have the capabilities of, making sure that we're building a relationship. And I think that's something that when we think about recruiting in general, we don't realize it's really a relationship, right? And like anything, right? If we're talking, especially to parents that are listening, if we're talking about a marriage, right, that is a relationship. And yes, you do have to commit as well, right? You have to commit to a school as well, right? So a commit, I think a lot of people glorify, I'm committing to this school. Okay, the definition of committing is to eliminate all other alternatives. And the thing that I don't like about players that commit, they'll pull back their commitment and be like, no, I don't want to go to that university anymore. Well, you're basically telling me you can't commit because you weren't able to eliminate all other alternatives, right? So if it's a marriage, you're eliminating all other alternatives because it is a relationship, and yes, you do have to commit. In recruiting, it has to be building that relationship. So, basically if a college coach offers you, they don't feel like in the back of their mind, they're like thinking to themselves, is this going to be a kid that pulls back his commitment? Is this going to be a guy that like tells us yes and then tells us no 3 weeks later? Like, these are the things that we need to be able to build in that relationship status, right? Of communicating back and forth with these college coaches. And if we never communicate with these college coaches, then, that's where we're really zeroing out our chances of getting recruited. It's not, we are trying to commit to a school because that's, step Z. Right? At step A, we need to start that communication process and initiate these college coaches' communications, right? And if, again, we're never initiating them, we're never going to be able to zero out or eliminate any of those alternatives, right? What advice would you give to a 10th grader at an elite high school? So it's going to be the same thing that really I went through, because I went to Sarasota High School in Sarasota, Florida, which was typically like nationally ranked in the U.S. It wasn't just like in the state. But so one thing that Sarasota did extremely well was really good at developing players. And there was a time, if you Googled Sarasota High School, or actually if you Googled the question, who has most MLB draft picks, it would come back Sarasota High School. And that was back in like 2014 when I was in high school, right? So we were really good at developing players, and we also had a ton of draft, not only draft picks, but also college commits as well. So our development looked like this. So in the fall time, basically first day of school, we'd have, team stuff. We'd have lifts, we'd have this, we'd have that. Winter, we would have a pro pitching coach with the Rays. He was actually a pitching coordinator. He would give us a throwing program. And we would do team lifts. In season, in the spring, we'd have games. But we'd also do lifts. Team lifts. And I think a lot of people don't do lifts in season, which I think is just ridiculous. If you don't work in season as far as those lifts, there's a huge opportunity that you're missing out on. Anyway, in the summer, we'd have games. We'd have like a local travel. And the reason for local travel is because we could play games on the weekend. We'd also couple that with a summer camp, basically. So it was kind of cool because like the rules of Florida High School Baseball Association, whatever it was, they basically said the head coach can't be the one doing these workouts in the summertime. So His son, who is an area scout with the Giants, he was the one running those summer camps, right? And at the end of the day, like that's what helped me develop Monday through Friday. And then typically tournaments, perfect game tournaments in Fort Myers, we'd make the trip down. And it was a very small group of like high schools from a couple of other neighboring high schools. We'd play together and we'd play good competition in those perfect game tournaments. So quite literally weekends we're talking about like implementing the development that we were gaining, and then Monday through Friday was more about development. So if we really kind of like talk about it, we were developing at this stage. We were developing at this stage. We were developing mostly at this stage and this stage. So we were developing non-stop because we were a nationally ranked program. We develop players, and that's just what we do, right? So if we're really going to think about, okay, any advice. So let's say we're talking about like an 8 a.m. all the way to 10 p.m. Okay, that's your typical day. Let's just say it's a Monday, right? So Monday. Okay, so let's just say this is school, right? Let's just say like this is practice, team practice. This, for most people, is like studying, right? This isn't the area of where we want to, and like, yes, we need to study, we need to make sure we're getting good grades. But how are we really going to truly be able to separate ourselves? So in my opinion, like right here is a time that we need to be productive by doing some of this studying. Maybe right here during lunch, get some homework done, right? So that way, instead of studying right here, we can split this up into two different ones, all right? So we can do a second workout maybe right here. Again, and this is what I really had my mindset on, is like, if we do what everyone else is going to do, expect to get just as good as everyone else. So this was the area that I felt like I was separating myself, and I think it's the reason also I was able to play college baseball, right? And then back here is like study if we have to, right? And do homework. But ultimately what we're trying to really, and to go back to the question as far as like any advice to a 10th grader, serious high school baseball program, it's really being productive with our time and learning that time management skills. And this is something that I teach my students every single day and guide them through what their specific schedule looks like. Because every high school baseball schedule will look different. Finding that time to be productive will look different. And that's something, of course, I help my students out with inside my triple play program, where yes, we focus on the physical and the recruiting side of like what to do in the gym and how to reach out to these college coaches. But that mental side, it's not just increasing baseball IQ, but it's talking about things like this. It's talking about, leadership, increasing the baseball IQ on defense. It's talking about being more time, having more time management, being more responsible with your time. These are all the things that I really like to teach all my students inside my academy. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, definitely let me know. You can always click the link in my bio, learn a little bit more about my program. But one thing that I'm going to do a quick little recording of kind of just like a summary, and then that way we can post this over on Instagram and everything. So I'm going to actually take these QR codes off real quick because I don't really like it. And then we'll figure out a solution here shortly. Okay. All right, for day 3, what we did today is did a couple of profile audits for Tamaron, and as far as his username not being the most effective, also not necessarily increasing our ability to add stuff to our bio, and really missing out on the opportunity of putting anything in the link in the bio. We also talked about how to basically document social media, because that's an area that I think a lot of high school baseball players are missing out on. And here what we did is basically, if a college coach just reaches out to you with a camp invite, completely blind, completely random, it's more than likely generic and possibly a money grab. Ideally, if we're communicating and initiating that conversation with the college coach and they respond with a camp invite, we want to ask a question and possibly attend, because now we're developing out that relationship. Another area that we are also talking about is the relationship of initiating these conversations, and how college recruiting is a relationship at the end of the day. It's similar to a marriage, and yes, it's a relationship, and yes, we have to commit. And really the definition of committing, whether it's to a school, whether it's to an eligibility review, whether it's really anything, is to zero out or eliminate all other alternatives. Another area that we talked about is any advice for any individuals, high school baseball players, or parents of serious high school baseball players that go to a very serious program. I went to a nationally ranked program, Sarasota High School, who had the most MLB draft picks back in the time when I was at high school, and we were focusing on development all throughout the year and really being able to find that additional area to be productive. Maybe after school right here, maybe after team practice we can do a little bit of homework there. Maybe we're also increasing our workload by doing an additional workout as well. That's going to be something that really separates us from the rest of the competition. And then finally, that way we're being more productive throughout our day and we have less homework or study time at the end of our day. All right, so that's probably going to be a reel that you guys might see on Instagram and whatnot. But guys, it has been an hour. It has been an absolute pleasure with talking to you guys every single day. We're doing these lives, excluding Sundays, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Tell your parents to join in if you found this enjoyable by any means. I feel the same way. My son used wood bats, but high school coach said they weren't allowed. I don't know why we can't. Why we should start using wood bats. You should start using wood bats ideally. I started using wood bats when I was like in 7th grade in my own time. If your high school coach says no to wood bats, use wood bats in your cage work on your own. Guys, that's what we talk about. Obviously that secondary workout right there, that could be cage work. That's when you can use your wood bat. That's when you're doing things on your own. They might not want those wood bats because you break a bat, it hurts. It also is a liability possibly for yourself or the team, and they would just rather be able to evaluate you efficiently with metal bats, considering that's going to be what you're using in the game. They can have whatever reason you have to comply, but the area that you don't have to comply is when you're doing that extra work by yourself on your own in the cage when no one else is around you. That's where you're going to ultimately see that separation. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, how you can expedite that separation, learn a little bit more about who I am and what my program is all about in the link in my bio. Talk to a parent. Guys, yes, parents have to be involved if you guys are interested in taking an eligibility review. It's basically a Zoom call to better understand where you're at, where you're trying to go, and if we can help inside my remote training program. So with that being said, I really appreciate your guys' attendance, and come back on Monday for another Coffee and Baseball. That will be day 4.
Welcome Evan Mendoza to the program.
Cardinals third baseman Evan Mendoza.
Giving it a look, finds the railing and he tumbles over, but he made the catch. Unbelievable, Evan Mendoza.
Gran jugada en Evan Mendoza, 2 joyas defensivas.
Evan Mendoza makes a great
Rounded up the middle. Mendoza throws off the shortstop. Mendoza field spins, throws.
Mendoza throw to first in time. Wow, what a play by Evan Mendoza.
It's short. Mendoza to second for 1. Oh my word, you've got to be kidding.
Evan Mendoza.
For Mendoza.
Mendoza lifts one to left. An inning.
Mendoza, that one's sailing back there, and it's gone.